let's go to the workbook now, 14.4 R, and let's look at number 2, okay? I drew it here for you. I want you to think about how you would break this up. There are 2 different ways it could be done. What would you do? Would you break it up here? Or would you decide to break it up here? Do you think you would break it up here? Or do you think you'd break it up here? I'll tell you, boys and girls, really in this case, it doesn't matter either way. I mean, most times it doesn't matter, but sometimes one way could be easier than the other, depending on what your numbers are, okay? I will tell you that you have everything here with these measurements to know the length of each side. For instance, if you chose to break it up here, okay, you can no longer use the 10 because the 10 is from here to here, okay? But look at how it does tell you how big this is. And so this would go here, this would go here, okay? If you chose to break it up here, okay, you wouldn't use the 6 because now your line would be going from here to here, okay? But you would use the 10. And then the new line that you made here for this new rectangle would be a 4 because it's a 4 here. Does that make sense, I hope? Okay, so you do have all of the numbers that you need to break this up whichever way you want to do it. Okay, I'm just going to pick one. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just going to go like this. And I'm going to break it up right there. Okay, boys and girls, for the purpose of doing this, I kind of want you to think this way. Once you've broken it up and you need to figure out that area, I kind of want you to take everything else out of your mind, okay? Because other measurements could kind of mess you up, okay? Even this number could mess you up a little bit because you have to remember that now this is going all the way down, okay? So you really don't want to use that 6. And I want you to really understand why. Really think about why. 6 is the measurement from here to here. Okay? If I'm going to measure this in terms of rectangles, and I choose to go this way, because this is part of the distributive property of area, is that you can break a shape up. And it's just like the distributive property of any of the other mathematics. And it's even a lot like adding and subtracting. You can do it whichever way you want as long as you don't add more or take any away. We can't just take some and throw it away. But we can break it up and then put it back together in an easier way for us to understand. And we've been using that property really since the fall when we got together. That's one that's a big one for 3rd grade. Okay? Okay, so like I said, kind of disregard everything else. Okay? We're going to kind of take it right out of our minds. Okay, so where'd my marker go? So for this one, we're talking area equals, remember it's length times width. So we're talking 4, okay? We could break this into 4 columns, okay? And then we would have 10 rows. So rather than counting all those boxes, let's just say 4 10 times. Area equals 40 what? 40 meters, okay? Now for this one, you could break it up like this. You could break it up like this. Now, the thing is, if you break it up like this, you need to realize that you're not counting from here to here. Again, you have to kind of, I wish I had another piece of paper. Let's see. Does this have I need another piece of paper. I want you to think of it this way. Like we have gotten rid of that and we've gotten rid of this, okay? You have to really think of it in terms of you've broken it into that rectangle. All right, so we're going to say, let's just do it this way. Really doesn't matter. Either way you want to do it is fine. Okay. I got to look and see which one of these numbers tells me this whole width. This one doesn't, because this one's going from here to here when I need to stop here. But this one goes from here to here. So I'm going to say that this area is 10 times, but 10 times what, boys and girls? And how am I going to figure it out? Okay, so I've taken this away. If I have a piece of tape. I've taken that away. And if I've taken this away, this is all I'm looking at right here. But I actually kind of need some of this in order to figure out what this space is. I know that this space is 10, but I don't want to measure from there to there. I only want to measure from there to there. I've made this new shape. I wish I had scissors. Well, let's see. From here to here is 6, right? Can you see that? 6. Okay. Then what would here to here be? 6 plus what is going to equal to 10? It's actually that easy. Okay. So we know that this is no longer the 10. We're going to make it 6 and 4. Okay. And of course, when those come together, it equals the 10 it was before. And as long as I don't add and as long as I don't take away, I'm fine. That's the distributive property. Okay? So I'm going to have 10 meters 4 times. Area of this is 40 meters. Okay? See if you can do this part all by yourself. If you're still working, just look away from the screen and you do your work and I'll do mine. Did you get 24 meters? Okay, so now we've got all of this work done. Are we done? Woo, this big mess. Are we done? No. Because we didn't want to know the area of this rectangle and this rectangle and this rectangle. We wanted to know the area of the whole thing. Okay? So we're going to add this guy, and this guy. Again, if you think about wanting to put carpet on the whole thing, it's great to figure it out that way, but then we got to add it all together. Okay? All right, so we would have 40 meters plus 40 meters plus 24 meters. 40 plus 40 is 100. 100 plus 20, 80 plus 20 is 100. Plus 4 is 104 meters. Okay, now yes, that was a lot of steps, but really, I think you would agree with me, it really wasn't hard work. The trick is you got to keep your head in it so that you don't just get confused and start looking at numbers that we have replaced. So maybe you want to even just cross a number like that out and make the 2 new numbers. And as long as they can be added together to create that same number that was there before, you're fine. Because we know that if we have 10 of something, if I have 10 M&Ms, I can do 3 and 7. I can do 6 and 4. I can do 9 and 1. I could do 10 and 0. I could do 5 and 5. It doesn't matter. It's still 10. And it's the same thing. If we bring it right back to that really simple idea, it's the same thing, okay? Would you please flip the paper to the side that's P? And I just want to draw your attention to this one. Because boys and girls, what this really made me think of is castles. And you remember how we wanted to do the floor plan of a castle? And I wonder, actually, if I have that right here. I just don't want to knock over my camera looking for it. Let me see if I have it right here. Oh, glitter. All right, let's see. Maybe I don't. Shoot. Well, when we start doing the castle floor plans, we're going to be figuring out, you know, the king's chamber and the throne room and the place where they keep all their weapons. I can't think of what that room is called. But we're going to be thinking about that. So here's a perfect example of how you might have shapes that need to be broken up. Okay, this is called a floor plan, where it shows the living space of the house. Okay, and this is what architects use when they're planning out a house. So you might want to know the area of the garage, but you may not necessarily need to know these other ones. Okay, or maybe you want to know just the bedrooms, because maybe the 2 bedrooms are going to have the same kind of carpet, but you're going to have hardwood floors in the living room. So the architect may say, I only need to know the area of the bedrooms because that's where I want to put the carpet. Okay? Or you could figure out the area of the whole, maybe bottom floor of a house. Okay? So you can see there's different reasons why you might want to know the area of certain rooms, but at the same time, you might want to know the area of the entire house. Okay? So I want you to work on this. I'm really hoping that you will find it pretty easy. I would love to know, maybe for a little extra credit, I would love to know the area of this entire first floor of the house. Maybe you could just do the work over to the side or on a separate piece of paper. Okay? All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.